What's up, everyone?
Welcome back to Abroad of Air. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic. The countries with the highest proportions of people who identify as non-religious or atheist. If you're not familiar, atheism is basically the lack of belief in any gods or higher powers. There are many different shades of atheism, but for today, we'll keep it simple. People who don't believe in the divine or supernatural. Now, if you've jumped into the dark side of this conversation, I'll warn you, there will be folks in the comments eager to discuss all the nuances and differences in atheism and agnosticism. It's kind of like asking someone if they're vegetarian, and then getting a detailed lecture on veganism, pescatarianism, or raw food diets. So, let's not go down that rabbit hole today. Instead, I'll reference a global survey conducted a few years ago which revealed some eye-opening stats. Just so you know, in that survey, about 43% of Americans identified as atheists or non-religious. So, let's jump in and see which countries are shedding their faith and going full secular. Number 25, Iceland. Kicking off our list is this rugged Nordic island known for geysers, glaciers, and volcanic landscapes. Surprisingly, 54% of Icelanders say they don't follow any religion. Interestingly, the majority of those who do believe are Christian, around 95% with small pockets of Muslims and other faiths. Historically, Vikings worshipped gods like Odin and Thor, but those traditions have largely faded.
Number 24. France.
Despite the stunning cathedrals and centuries of religious history, France has a significant secular streak. About 55% of the population now identifies as non-religious or atheist. Among those who do hold religious beliefs, roughly 63% are Christian and around 7.5% are Muslim. France's move away from religion has been gradual but steady. A shift from its Catholic roots to a more secular society.
Number 23. Slovenia.
A small Central European country with a rich cultural mix. Slovenia has a surprisingly high rate of non-believers, approximately 59%. Most of its religious population are Christian, about 78% with Muslims making up a tiny slice. It's a nation balancing tradition with modern secularism, and religion isn't as central as you might expect.
Number 22. Austria.
Much like its neighbor Germany, Austria has seen a decline in religiosity. Now, around 59% of Austrians report no religious affiliation. When they do believe, the majority identify as Christian, around 80%. Muslims are a small minority, roughly 5%. It's a country where secular attitudes are becoming the norm, especially among the younger generations.
Number 21. Ireland.
I was surprised to include Ireland here, given its deeply Catholic history. Yet, nearly 60% of Irish people now identify as non-religious or atheist. Still, the majority of those who do believe are Christian. About 62% with a tiny Muslim population, just over 1%. This shift reflects changing attitudes among younger Irish citizens moving away from church and tradition.
Number 20. Israel.
Here's a real twist. Israel, the Jewish homeland, shows that about 61% of its population claims no religious belief. I looked into it, and one study suggested the figure might be as high as 65%. Among the religious, roughly 75% are Jewish with Muslim and Christian minorities. It's a nation with a complex relationship with faith, and secularism is growing there.
Number 19. Latvia.
This Baltic country, known for its forests and medieval towns, has about 62% of its population identifying as non-religious. Most of its religious folks are Christian, around 56%. It's a place where modernization and secular values are increasingly taking hold.
Number 18. Finland.
When it comes to Scandinavia, Finland stands out. Approximately 62% of Finns say they're atheists or non-religious, despite the majority being officially affiliated with the Evangelical Lutheran Church. Interestingly, fewer than 1% actively attend church services regularly, highlighting a cultural shift away from organized religion.
Number 17. Canada.
Known for its politeness and diversity, Canada also has a large secular population. About 63% of Canadians consider themselves non-religious, with the majority of believers identifying as Christian.
About 69%.
Muslims make up roughly 2%, making Canada a melting pot of faiths and non-faiths alike.
Number 16. Spain.
Despite its stunning cathedrals and Catholic history, Spain has about 63% of its people claiming no religious affiliation. Among those who do believe, most are Christian, around 78%. The country is increasingly secular, especially among younger generations.
Number 15. Azerbaijan.
In this predominantly Muslim nation, Roughly 64% of the population reports no religious belief. Interestingly, among those who do follow a religion, almost all are Muslim, about 97%. It's a country that's modernizing and becoming more secular, even within a Muslim majority context.
Number 14. South Korea. A fascinating case.
South Korea has about 65% of its population identifying as non-religious. But among the religious, Christianity and Buddhism are quite influential. Still, secular attitudes are on the rise, especially among the youth. It's a society blending tradition with modern skepticism of organized faith.
Number 13. Hong Kong.
This vibrant city has a diverse religious landscape, but surprisingly about 66% of residents say they don't follow any religion. Among the believers, roughly 14% are Christian and about 13% follow local folk or traditional religions. Hong Kong's rapid modernization has definitely impacted its spiritual landscape.
Number 12. Germany.
Germany's reputation for philosophy and science is well earned. About 66% of Germans now identify as non-religious despite being historically Christian. Among those who do believe, the majority are Christian, roughly 69%. The country's secular trend reflects broader European shifts away from traditional faiths.
Number 11. Vietnam.
This Southeast Asian nation has seen a rise in secularism. Around 67% of its population say they're atheists or non-religious. Among those who follow faiths, Buddhism and folk religions are common, but many are now embracing a more secular worldview.
Number 10. Denmark.
Denmark often tops lists for happiness and quality of life, and its religious landscape reflects that. About 68% of Danes say they're non-religious, despite many being members of the Evangelical Lutheran Church. Most participate in rituals without necessarily believing in divine intervention.
Number 9. Norway.
Similar to Denmark, Norway has a high rate of secularism. Approximately 70% of Norwegians identify as non-religious, although around 85% are officially Christian. The trend shows a move away from organized church participation, especially among the youth.
Number 8. Australia.
This vast land down under is surprisingly secular. About 70% of Australians report no religious belief. Among believers, Christianity is dominant, but Muslim and Buddhist communities are growing. The country's cultural diversity influences its spiritual landscape.
Number 7. Estonia.
One of the most atheistic countries in Europe, Estonia has about 72% of its population claiming no religion. Its capital Tallinn is known for its modern attitude and secular outlook. The country's history of independence and modernization has fostered this secular mindset.
Number 6. Belgium.
Belgium's small size belies its high secularism, with 72% of its population identifying as non-religious. Most believers are Christian, mainly Catholic, but religious practice is minimal. The country is increasingly embracing secular values and liberal policies.
Number 5. United Kingdom.
The UK has seen a significant decline in religious affiliation. About 72% of Brits now identify as non-religious or atheist. Among those who believe, Christianity remains dominant, but the church attendance has plummeted. It's a society shifting away from traditional faiths.
Number 4. Czech Republic.
This landlocked country is one of Europe's most secular. Approximately 75% of Czech say they have no religious affiliation. Those who do believe are mostly Christian or unaffiliated. Prague's historic churches are now more tourist attractions than places of worship.
Number 3. Sweden.
Sweden's reputation as a progressive secular nation is well established. About 78% of Swedes say they're atheists or don't believe in any gods. Yet, many still belong nominally to the Lutheran Church, but active participation is rare. It's a prime example of a society where religion is more cultural than spiritual.
Number 2. Japan.
In Japan, atheism and secularism are widespread. About 81% of the population says they are non-religious. Of those who follow religious traditions, many participate in rituals without necessarily believing in a deity. It's a society where cultural practices often outweigh doctrinal beliefs.
Number 1. China.
And at the top of our list is China, a country where a staggering 91% of the population identify as non-religious or atheist. Despite historical religious traditions like Taoism and Buddhism, modern China emphasizes secularism and state-controlled philosophies. Many Chinese see religion as a personal or cultural matter rather than a spiritual one. Before we wrap up, it's interesting to note that some of the most religious countries, particularly in Africa and South America, have the lowest rates of atheism. That's a topic for another video though. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Abroad of Air. If you enjoyed this journey into global beliefs and secular shifts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have an awesome day, and remember, respect each other's beliefs and backgrounds.